Hello my friends, how are you? If you are watching this video and you're not subscribed to my channel, do it, and I send you a packet of love energy for you to enjoy. If you are subscribed, thank you so much and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mariah, and today I just wanted to, I know I say I'm always gonna do like a quick little video, but I hope that this actually is a quick little video because I've been having this idea like ruminating in my head, well, really for a long time, like since last year, but it's like the theme has kind of come more to the forefront for me recently, and I just wanted to kind of open up the floor and chat about it because I know that I have people that follow me that are into this, and let's just chat about if Hollywood is Gnostic and what that means for us. Apologies in advance for my cat in the background. There is a box over there and he is exploring the box. He's early for dinner. You might hear him in this video. But I wanted to chat about that because I have several thoughts. Now, I don't really want to do, and this could be a series where I break down certain movies and, you know, say how this is like a Gnostic theme or whatever. And I did that with the Barbie movie, which was fun for me because it's very nostalgic. And I love Margot Robbie, and I thought the movie was great. Thought it was fun. Thought it was cute. And there were definitely noticeable Gnostic themes that I picked up on and thought it would be cool to share it in the video. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. I will link it below. You can find it on my channel as well. And so I think that the movie breakdown thing has been done, although I am interested in doing that. But I just wanted to kind of pose the question to you. Do you think Hollywood is Gnostic? Now, the reason why I say my viewpoint might be a little different is because I do believe that Hollywood is Gnostic. I know you don't have to educate me and bring me through like the fear holes and conspiracy theories. I've been there. I know how awful things can get in Hollywood for sure. And exploitative and abusive in every single way that you can imagine. Now, I will say this. I think that there might be a level to that is used as a smokescreen so that people don't understand how much Hollywood really knows and how much people in power really know, because those are the ones who are in charge of Hollywood, who run Hollywood, who allow certain messages to get out and will stop other messages from getting out. And, you know, I know that there's depraved violence with people with a lot of money. And that happens to be Hollywood. However, I don't want to go there. I just, if you want to go there, there are other channels and other videos that bring lots of awareness to that. However, I would like to say that yes, there are Gnostic movies, but I believe that Hollywood knows the Gnostic truth of our reality, being that the goddess is here with us now as our earth. I do believe that they know the whole John Lamb Lash story, and that he, yes, made it popular, but nobody really talks about him. He has a great book that would make an amazing movie, and I hope to see that happen one day, but I don't think it would happen with the certain people who are in power now, because in my belief, just in my own inferences, I do believe that Hollywood at least has that Gnostic background and knows that Gnostic truth and doesn't want you to. That is where I'm going with this. So yes, there are definitely movies with Gnostic themes, and we were watching the Godzilla Kong, the latest movie from like May 2024, and that has Gnostic themes as well. There are certain buzzwords that scriptwriters will use. Now, you could argue that it's just scriptwriters that are Gnostics, or, you know, producers or what have you, and they say, you know, put these certain buzzwords in here. But that movie had a lot of Gnostic themes too. It had a lot of conspiracy kind of themes, as well as, you know, going into Hollow Earth, and they had a base called Monarch, which is like MK Ultra, and there was like a certain phrase, and I wish I wrote it down, but there was a certain phrase where I was like, oh, like that's a straight up, oh, they were in like a big room with like a lot of doodads and things, and you know, when you're at like sorry, I'm really bad describing this, but think like you're manning a ship, or you're a pilot, or you've got a bunch of screens, you have to push buttons to make things happen. Okay, they're in like one of those rooms, and I don't know why I'm losing words for that, but one of those rooms, lots of screens, they do stuff, they see on screens like, oh shit, you know, this is waking up, we gotta, whatever, Godzilla's happening, Kong's happening, okay, and this is a part of the government. And the part that made me go, they know, is that they started to say, you know, this is an anomaly and this is an anomaly. And then one of the lines was, this is not verbatim, but this was the line that really stuck out for me, something along the lines of, the world we live in is an anomaly. And why that stuck out to me is because that is from Nag Hammadi texts. Now I didn't remember the line before I started recording this video, and I'm just gonna roll with it. But if I find it, I will put that book down below, and I'll put the quote in the comments. But there is a translation of the Nag Hammadi codices in one of the books, might be on the origin of the world, might be the hypostasis of the archons, but one of those, like one of the books that kind of has the whole creation story, that says the world in which we live came to be as a mistake. Now, I also believe, and there's a fly buzzing around me, that I don't have the reference for right in front of me, because I gave my Not in His Image book by John Lamlash to a friend to borrow. And I don't remember if it was in his book or just something that he said, but he retranslated that from the Greek, from mistake to anomaly. The world we came about is due to an anomaly. And if you've watched any of my other videos before, you know that, you know, I retell the Nag Hammadi codices origin of the world, the Gnostic origin of the world, from Mr. John Lamlash's viewpoint, what he's pieced together, because I can see the pieces too, and he's kind of just brought them all together. And so he's done a really great job of doing that and getting it out into the open, into the public, on his YouTube channel on nemata.org. And when I heard that, I was like, anomaly, like either I think that they listened to John Lamlash too, like they probably read his book, because that translation and his retranslation from mistake to anomaly is huge. It's a huge part of the Gnostic origin story, in that creation isn't perfect. And it's a huge tenet in his whole rewriting, revisionist Gnostic history, kind of, you know, it's definitely way out there, but that's a huge part of it, because if you've watched my other videos, like I've said, you know that when I'm retelling that whole story, I say a lot, you know, this happened as an anomaly. It was not necessarily a mistake, you could call it that if you want, the mistake of Sophia. And if you haven't seen any of those videos, definitely watch them. I'll link something below. In that Sophia, the Aeon Sophia, the creator of the human genome, with her male counterpart, made a mistake and fell through the pleromic boundary of the galactic core into the Milky Way galaxy, which, after another series of anomalies, eventually became our planet Earth. But this is not normal. It's not a normal thing to do for the Aeons. The Aeons have kind of like a codex that they follow. They have certain rules that they follow, but it's not the sense of Abrahamic rules where if you don't follow these rules, you're going to burn for the rest of your eternity. That's just made up. That's just to scare you and to get you to pay to go to church or whatever. But that anomaly thing kind of triggered me, where I was like, bing, bing, bing. They have that reference point. I do believe that Hollywood has that reference point, and they will put little bits and pieces of it into, especially blockbusters, if you know what to look for and you know those certain buzzwords and you're aware of the whole fallen goddess scenario a la John Lamlash's Gnosticism, which is from the original text and ancient Gnostic sources, but just brought forward and kind of pieced together in a way that has a clear beginning, middle, and I don't want to call it end, but we're in the story. We are a part of it. We are in it. And when script writers, Hollywood producers, whatever, when they use certain buzzwords like that, I go, yeah, no, these guys know. They know for sure. And they're just sprinkling just a little bit, like just enough. I think it's just enough to be a wink to the people who know that story as well, but not too much to give the story away to people who have never heard of it. And that is why I think under, whoever is in power right now, we wouldn't have a cinematic experience of the fallen goddess scenario, which I believe we should. That is honestly, that's my dream come true, is to have that be a cinematic experience in a theater where we can see the whole story that John Lamlash has put together from the codices and other Gnostic sources, and seeing it on the big screen and just showing that to people and be like, listen, what if this is the truth? You can watch a movie about Noah's Ark. You can watch a movie about Abraham. You can watch a movie about all these things, and Christians will show that. I remember when I went to church and they would show you the Passion of the Christ and be like, this is a part of our learning, and it's a Hollywood production. It's a movie. It's not real. But there are valuable lessons and it's a valuable medium to show people your point of view. Now, I think Hollywood hides that they have that truth. I think that they're hiding that because they don't want you to know that the story that they know is alive, living, and you watching this can take a part and become more alive with it. That's why we'll have The Matrix, for example. That's like everybody's, you think of a Gnostic movie, you think of Matrix first. But that, to me, that kind of Gnosticism is not the true Gnosticism. That is the Gnosticism that the Abrahamics want you to believe, that you are dead and that when you wake up, you're in a completely dead world that's run by dead aliens, and it's just not true. They want you to believe that those dead aliens run the world, but they don't. It's just mind parasites and psychic noise that we deal with, but we can shut it off. But they don't want you to know that that's really how powerful they are, is that they need your attention to keep living. But if we chose to not pay attention to them and instead shift our focus to the living earth, the living goddess that is here as the earth, who is the creator of the human genome, and that our order of how things have happened might be skewed by Hollywood. It might be skewed by the Abrahamics. It might be distorted in thinking that, apes came first and there was dinosaurs and whatever, what have you. And then somehow, if you want to be a Zachariah Sitchin follower, then you think that there's some sort of ancient alien that tweaked with our DNA. Or maybe, what if humans were here first? And what if we had a part in creating the animal species all around us? What if we worked with Earth in her dreaming to create things? That is such deep human history that we can't say anything for sure. But we can have, the important part is that we can have a living, reliable, beautiful, mutual relationship with the planet that supports our life right now. Now, if anybody knows any movies that really drive, I've got a hair tickling me, that really drive home that idea that Mother Earth is alive and she is actually the creator of the human species and she's here to help us and she'll contact us in our dreams, because I think that would be an amazing movie idea. The only thing is maybe Moana. I haven't seen that. I don't watch too many animations. I should. I don't. Because I know that Mother Earth in that movie is pretty alive and animated. Pardon my pun. But if you know of any movies that are basically the fallen goddess scenario, I would love to check them out, because I think, but I know that they're not huge blockbusters unless I'm just missing something, because I really do think that that is a wonderful narrative that is not being given to the masses as an alternative storyline, as a different storyline, a different, I don't want to call it a religion, because I don't really think Gnosticism is a religion, but that's what people will tell you. But something alternative that is just a different option that becomes alive as you engage with it. Imagine a cinematic experience where you get to visualize and see the fallen goddess scenario, which I think would just be beautiful and amazing, like starting off in the galactic core and you have the aeons like discussing creating the human genome, and you know, it just kind of goes through the whole story. But I think the problem why Hollywood would never let that happen, or why it would have to be completely independent, is that it would identify archons, the demiurge, and that they're bothering us psychically, and that our planet is that aeon who became alive, became our planet, and is still here presently, and is the reason we're alive. She's dreaming us alive every single day and every single moment. And it's funny because when you have that framework and you really understand that story and you really know it, you can kind of go, oh, they touch it here, they touch it in this movie, they touch it in, you know, this book or this TV show, is, you know, and it's just like, I find that, and I don't know if it's just my bias and that I have that framework and I just kind of know what to look for, and I'm like, oh, you know, there. Or if they all just know the same story and they're doing their best not to give it all away, because it's actually really occult mystery teachings that, you know, if I'm being nice, then they want each person to come to on their own, because that's a beautiful experience. Now, if I'm going to be more of a pessimist, then it's that they don't want anybody else to find out that story, because they don't want you, because they don't want you to be liberated and free and know that you are so supported by our planet, because she is the goddess that gave you life in the first place, and that humanity is so important and pivotal to be here, and not in an egoic way, just in a way that is like, yes, we were designed specifically to be alive, to play, to enjoy each other, and to create. Like the aeons, we have that ability. We can do that. We create with our planet. We create with the dreaming mind of the goddess who is dreaming us alive in every moment, and we can co-create with her. If there was a movie about that, I think it would just radicalize people, and Hollywood knows that. And so I believe that that Hollywood definitely knows the Gnostic truth, the true Gnostic story, and decides to perpetuate the Gnostic story that is not the truth, that is the one that the Abrahamics want you to believe is the truth, because they don't want you to be empowered in the same way that the true Gnostic message empowers people, empowers especially women, empowers anybody in a way that gives you agency, that makes you feel important and known by our planet, and invites you to explore that relationship with her, because it is a beautiful relationship. And historically, we've always had one. We've always been able to consult with Gaia, as the oracles of Delphi always did. They weren't just, you know, getting their information from outer space. Like, no, they got their information from Gaia. They would enter in a trance, and Mother Earth would give them prophetic information that they would then relay to other people. That is the nature of our relationship that we have with Mother Earth, with Gaia. I think it's a beautiful thing to explore. And I think Hollywood knows this, because these are old bloodlines that control a lot of money, and they just have more information. They are privy to more information than the average layperson, because they don't want you to know these things. They know that once you know these things, they lose their power, because the real source of power is Earth, and they hijack it in some way. I'm not exactly sure, because I'm not one of those families. I'm just spitballing here, but you know, you can kind of put some pieces together. So yeah, oh God, he's up on the desk. My homework for you is to let me know if you know of any movies that really portray the fallen goddess scenario and have a beautiful portrayal of the aliveness of our planet Earth and that she is our creatrix. I would love to know if that's out there, or if you know of any like movies that maybe don't really touch on the goddess part but really have more of that Gnostic truth in it, because from what I've seen, it's just the bastardized Gnosticism that we get from Hollywood. And I really think that it's to distract people, because if I say that I'm a Gnostic to people, then they'll be like, oh, like this is like the Matrix. You gotta wake up and everybody, like your alien overlords are just running everything. And it's like, okay, I can see where you can find the truths in that for Gnosticism, but the way that the movie spins it, and this is what they do, they spin it to get you to think that you are trapped in a reality that was made by the archons, the alien overlords, that can make a perfect duplicate, and they can't do that. That is giving them way too much. There's like, man, in all my videos I'm just scratching my nose, but anyways, got a little bit of a cat allergy that I don't care about. Anyways, they want you to think that you are trapped and that there's no way out, and that you need, and this is another movie example is Free Guy. I think that's a really cool movie, and he's actually liberated by a woman in that movie, and I think that that is a really beautiful Gnostic message. Doesn't quite touch on it fully, but that's like a decent example with some pretty good themes, because you need to have the creator being a female and being here without a male. And I think the Free Guy has like a pretty decent amount of these symbols, so it's a decent example. And you need to have the archons. You have to identify them and who they are. You have to identify the demiurge, and that movie does it as well. So yeah, Free Guy is a pretty good example. But I would like to see more of like just the explicit story, you know, how they do with the Moses movie or Noah the Ark, whatever. Even Bruce Almighty, like that stuff is just so Christian, and it's like, why don't we have that kind of propaganda for us Sophianic Gnostics? Like, let's get some. So let me know your thoughts. I'm gonna stop it there because I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, I would love to hear what you think about this. Let me know. Chat soon.